Hi, I'm Rob Bibiani. I'm the director of Tri-Town Youth Services. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Director's Cut. Now, unlike a Hollywood director's cut, which is a longer version of a previously released film, my director's cuts will be first release and hopefully brief. And also, unlike Hollywood, there will be little to no special effects. My intent is to present semi-regular brief, emphasis on brief videos uh, about topics of interest related to child and youth development. Um, my point is not to lecture anyone or to be preachy, but to present some information and perhaps spark a conversation. Maybe the conversation's in your head with yourself or in your household with your family, maybe in a friend group, maybe even in the comment section down below, very respectfully, of course. Or maybe it expands into a larger community conversation. Um, or not. I will present without expectation, but with openness to possibilities. Now, one of the ways in which I have been like a Hollywood director is with production changes and delays. As this project initiative was taking shape, my intent was to release the first episode in the summer on the topic of youth and social media. And while that topic will be coming, and there is already some community conversation developing around that, um, I had shifted to the idea of suicide awareness and prevention as school was approaching, and September is Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. So the idea was to coordinate the release of the first episode with September Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. Now, here we are in early December, so quite clearly that didn't happen. Um, yeah, I may be rationalizing here a bit, but I see some serendipity in that because to me, suicide awareness and prevention is not a month thing, it's an everyday thing. And anyone can play a part. You don't have to be a mental health professional to have an impact. So in presenting something, I didn't need to look very far. I don't need to make things up here because there's lots of resources. And in fact, I can just look to the Connecticut Suicide Advisory Board, and they've long had a campaign of one word, one voice, one life. And beneath that, they have a sub uh, motto of be the one to start the conversation. And so that's where I would like to start. Be the one to start the conversation. Be the one to make the connection. Um, Suicide is often one of the leading factors in suicide is hopelessness, and hopelessness is often born by a sense of disconnection, disconnection from self, from others, from the community, from a sense of belonging and purpose. And so, if disconnection is the danger, then connection is the possible antidote. Uh, Connection is protection, so to speak. And so we talk about starting a conversation, I see that as happening on two levels. There's start a conversation, be the one to reach out and go a little deeper than just, hey, how you doing? Let's go beyond the someone says, oh, I'm fine, I'm good, and then we move on in the conversation. Let's occasionally with the people that we love in our family, our friends, coworkers, peers, people we see on a regular basis, anybody we care about. Let's spend some time every once in a while going beyond the cursory, how you doing? I'm good, fine. One thing to keep in mind is that people don't fake being in distress or fake being depressed. People fake being okay. So sometimes that little extra attention can be the thing that helps us understand when somebody's maybe not doing as well as we might otherwise think they were doing. So be the one to start that conversation. Um, so when they say fine, say, oh yeah, tell me more. What's going on? Or I'm good. Yeah, what's good? What's going on good? What's happening in your life lately? What are you excited about? What are you worried about? Things like that. Keep a conversation going so that you can get a better sense of how your friend, your neighbor, your loved one is doing. And then if you notice that someone is not themselves, not their usual self, or they're in obvious distress, then the second level would be start the conversation. And by that, I mean start the conversation about is someone safe? Are they perhaps thinking about harming themselves in some way or even ending their life? Now, that can be a pretty daunting thing to maybe do. It's not always comfortable. Suicide still has high stigma and kind of a taboo in our society. Yet, research will show that it can make all the difference. Um, there's a myth that sometimes people think, oh, if I bring up conversation, it's going to put it in their head. Well, research clearly shows that bringing up the idea of self-harm, of suicide, will not put the idea into someone's head who isn't thinking about it, and it will not have someone who is thinking about it go ahead and actually act on it. In fact, the research is quite the opposite. It shows that people who are feeling self-harmful, suicidal, are actually relieved to have the conversation and to be talking about it. If you would like to learn to recognize and respond to the signs of someone experiencing suicidal feelings, our staff at Tri-Town are certified to provide classes in QPR. QPR stands for Question, Persuade, and Refer, and is a research-based suicide prevention method. Just as CPR can help you assist someone in a medical emergency, QPR can provide you with the skills and confidence to help someone experiencing a mental health crisis. Check our website link below or follow us on Instagram or Facebook to see when our next QPR training is happening. Or if your group, organization, or business has 5 or more people interested in learning QPR, we can arrange a training especially for you. Additionally, if you'd like to get online training, you can do so through the QPR Institute at the link below. So be the one to start the conversation and keep the conversation going. And if need be, have the conversation. It might make all the difference. Finally, if you or someone you are with is experiencing a mental health crisis, know that help is just a phone call or text away via the National 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. In Connecticut, your call or text will be received by a trained professional with the United Way of Connecticut, who, if requested or needed, can initiate an emergency mobile response. Suicide is preventable, and there is hope. Reach out and let others help you discover your hope. Thanks for tuning in. Be well, and please take care of each other.